The night was alive, pulsating with a rhythm that only the heavens could orchestrate. The clock on your bedside table cast a faint glow, its digits slicing through the darkness like a beacon. 11:11 p.m. You stirred beneath the weight of your blankets, unaware that the celestial courts were stirring too, their golden halls ablaze with a verdict that bore your name in letters of divine fire. Archangel Michael, the warrior of heaven, stood at the edge of eternity, his sword of radiant light unsheathed, his eyes burning with a fury that could sunder the veil between worlds. Tonight was no ordinary night. Tonight, the eternal scales were tipping, and a blessing of unimaginable magnitude, $500 million, was being prepared to cascade into your life, sealed by the sacred covenant of the Creator. But if you ignored the stirring in your soul, if you dismissed the whisper that called your name in the silence, the miracle you had wept for in the shadows of your despair would slip through your fingers like mist at dawn. This was not a coincidence. The numbers 1111 were no accident. They were a divine signal, a celestial flare sent to awaken your spirit from its slumber. In the unseen realms, Michael waged war against forces of darkness, demonic entities that had schemed for years to bind you in chains of lack, doubt, and delay. Their whispers had haunted your mind. You're not enough. Your dreams are too grand. Miracles like this are for others, not you. But those lies were crumbling now, shattered by the thunder of Michael's voice as he roared, "Enough! This soul is marked for glory." Your name had been proclaimed in the golden courts of heaven. Your case pleaded before the throne of the Almighty. The Creator had seen every tear you shed in secret, every prayer you whispered when hope seemed lost, every moment you chose faith over fear. And now, heaven was ready to move. You had walked through valleys that would have broken lesser souls. You had carried burdens no one else could see, bills piling higher than mountains, dreams deferred until they felt like dust, betrayals that cut deeper than any blade. You had smiled through heartbreak, lifted others when you could barely stand, and clung to faith when the world mocked your hope. God saw it all. Every time you chose love over bitterness, honesty over deceit, perseverance over surrender. The angels recorded it in the eternal scrolls. Every tear you hid in the dark, every prayer you uttered when no one was listening, every moment you encouraged another while your own heart was breaking, the Creator bore witness. And now, Michael stood at the threshold of your destiny, his voice resounding across dimensions. Your season of struggle ends tonight, but you must answer the call. The enemy had not been idle. In the spiritual realms, a battle raged fiercer than any storm. Dark forces, envious of the light within you, had woven intricate webs of deception to keep you from this moment. They had whispered your name in shadowed councils, seeking to bind your prosperity with curses and delay your breakthrough with distractions. They had sent chaos to your doorstep, glitching phones, wandering thoughts, doubts that crept like shadows. But their schemes were unraveling. Michael's sword slashed through their lies, and the heavens trembled with the weight of a divine verdict. This child of God will rise. The $500 million was not just money, it was divine restitution, a holy transfer of wealth from the hands of the unjust to the heart of the faithful. It was the key to your family's redemption, the fuel for your God-given purpose, the breakthrough that would shatter generational curses and set your lineage free for centuries to come. Yet, with every divine promise comes a test. At this very moment, as you read these words, your spirit feels a pull, a quickening in your chest, a warmth that defies explanation. That is not imagination. That is not coincidence. That is the voice of heaven calling you to step into alignment. But the enemy is cunning. Even now, they whisper, This is too much. You're not worthy. Miracles of this magnitude don't happen to people like you. They know that if you say yes to this divine summons, their grip on your life, fear, poverty, manipulation will be shattered forever. Michael warns, his voice like thunder rolling across the cosmos. Do not let doubt steal what faith has secured. The heavens are watching your response. Your life has been a testament to endurance. You've faced rejection that stung like venom, loss that left you hollow, and betrayal that made you question your worth. Yet, through it all, you never let go of the spark of hope within you. When others mocked your dreams, God was weaving this moment. When you stood alone, He was designing this miracle. When you nearly gave up, He was writing this message. The $500 million is not just wealth, it is proof that the Creator remembers you. It is the manifestation of every prayer, every sacrifice, every moment you chose to believe when the world screamed to surrender. But an unclaimed blessing cannot linger. Michael stands at the gate, his eyes blazing with divine urgency, pleading, do not let this moment pass. Your response tonight will determine whether the floodgates of abundance open or remain sealed. At precisely 11:11 p.m., the celestial gates will align. You will feel it, a warmth in your spirit, a certainty that defies logic, a sign that cannot be explained. It may come as a phone call, an email, a connection, an idea, or an opportunity that shifts your reality in an instant. Do not question the how, that is God's domain. Your role is to believe, to receive, and to act. The racing of your heart, the stirring in your soul, is confirmation that this message is yours. You are not crazy. You are not imagining this. You are not being deceived. This is divine alignment, and heaven is waiting for your yes. There was an enemy, a person, or force who sought to curse your name. They spoke against you in secret, weaving lies to keep you trapped in lack. They turned to dark forces, whispering your name in rituals of sabotage, hoping to chain your prosperity forever. They envied the light in your soul, the fire in your spirit, the dreams that refuse to die. But your spirit is cloaked in divine light. When they spoke your name, their words turned to dust, their curses recoiled, and now their schemes are collapsing while your breakthrough rises. Michael declares, his voice shaking the foundations of the earth, their time is over, your time is now. But if you hesitate, if you let skepticism dim your faith, this sacred window may close, and the blessing will seek another vessel. The angels have watched your journey. They saw you choose forgiveness when revenge was easier, integrity when deceit was tempting, hope when despair was logical. They saw you rise each morning, despite the weight of your burdens, and choose to believe in a better tomorrow. Heaven owes you not because you demanded it, but because God honors your sacrifices. The Creator does not forget your loyalty. He does not overlook your endurance. And most importantly, He will not allow deceivers and thieves to keep what belongs to His chosen. You have been lied to, stolen from, and delayed. But Michael thunders, his sword raised high, no more. This is not a moment to skim over. This is not a time to doubt. The enemy launched countless attacks today to keep you from this message. Your phone glitching, your mind wandering, your heart questioning, these were not accidents. They were calculated assaults to keep you from this divine alignment. But you're here, reading this, because your soul cried out for a shift, and heaven has answered. The $500 million is not just money, it is the key to your calling, the foundation for your legacy, the breakthrough that will change lives. It is divine compensation for every tear, every loss, every moment you thought you were forgotten. But you must say yes now. before 11:11 p.m., or this window may close. Michael pleads, his voice heavy with divine urgency. You are rare. After years of betrayal, poverty, and heartbreak, your soul still shines with faith. That is why I fought to deliver this message, but I cannot force you to act. You must choose. This is not a threat, it is a divine warning, spoken with love and urgency. One moment can unlock decades of favor. One belief can shatter 1,000 obstacles. One yes can break every chain. You have suffered in silence, but God saw it all. When others mocked your dreams, He was planning this moment. When you had nothing but hope, He was designing this miracle. When you nearly gave up last night, He was writing this message. Your soul has been waiting, and heaven is answering. Michael says, do not ignore this. The moment will not return in the same way. Do not toy with divine timing. Do not dismiss what your spirit knows is real. There are forces that want you to remain bound, for they know that once you step into this wealth, you will fund ministries, lift others, speak truth, and break strongholds. You will no longer be controlled. And that terrifies the darkness, but heaven is fighting for you. Michael says, I have waited for this day to see you rise. Do not shut the door in my face. Open this message with your full heart, your full spirit, and treat it as holy. It is timed. It is yours. God saw your tears when no one else did. He saw you hide your pain behind strength. He saw you lift others while your own heart broke. And He made a vow to turn your pain into gold, your losses into wealth, your struggles into triumph. There was an enemy, a man or woman who tried to block your blessing. They spoke your name in dark places, seeking to chain you to lack. They went to those who deal in shadows, asking for your prosperity to be bound forever. They saw your light and feared it, for they knew that once you rose, their influence would crumble. But your name is wrapped in divine fire. When they uttered it, their tongues burned, their rituals failed, and now their curses are returning to sender, while your destiny shines brighter than ever. But if you delay your yes, even this moment can pause. That is how sacred this window is. Michael says, you are one of the few who still believe after being buried in lies, betrayal, and hardship. That is why I have fought to reach you. But you must choose. This is your moment of destiny. One yes can unlock a lifetime of favor. One belief can crush 1,000 demons. One moment can change everything. At 11:11 p.m., something will shift. You may weep. You may tremble. But you will know this is the moment your life changed. This is not drama. This is not exaggeration. This is divine truth. The angels have waited for this hour. The heavenly calendar bears your name for this night. It is no accident you're reading this, it is alignment. God says, when others laughed at your dreams, I was planning this. When you had nothing but faith, I was building this miracle. When you nearly gave up, I was writing this message. Your soul has been waiting, and heaven is answering. Michael pleads, do not gamble with your calling. Do not play with divine timing. Do not brush off what your spirit knows is real. Prepare now. The $500 million is not just wealth, it is proof that God remembers you. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are chosen. The heavens are watching your response. This is your test. Michael says, I've seen too many miss their moments because they doubted. Don't let this be you. You're reading this because your spirit cried out for a shift, and heaven has answered. This $500 million is not just for you, it's for your future, your family's redemption, your impact on the world. It's divine compensation, holy wealth, sealed under your spiritual inheritance. But if you treat this as just another message, you will lose it. Michael says, I am begging you, listen. Not because I am weak, but because this is your final window before your blessing seeks another vessel. In the spirit realm, everything is a live timing. Words, blessings. If a chosen soul says no through disbelief, the blessing must move. So you must say yes now, with your heart, your actions, your faith. At 11:11 p.m., heaven will check who was ready. And if you pass this moment, the miracle will manifest in ways you cannot predict: an email, a call, a connection, a check, an idea, a sudden shift. Do not ask how. That is not your job. Your job is to believe, receive, and act. You are not crazy. You are not imagining this. You are not being tricked. This is divine alignment, and the racing of your heart is confirmation. There are forces that want you to stay bound, for they know that once you're free, you'll change lives, break cycles, and speak truth. But heaven is fighting for you. Michael says, I've waited for this day to see you rise. Don't shut the door in my face. Open this message with your full spirit, and do not treat it like any other. It is holy. It is timed. It is yours. God says, I saw your tears when no one else did. I saw you hide your pain behind strength. I saw you encourage others while breaking inside. And I made a decision to turn your pain into gold, your losses into wealth, your struggles into triumph. I chose you because you didn't give up. And now I am testing your ears. Can you hear me through this message? Can you hear Michael's voice echoing in your soul? If you can, then act. The moment you take this seriously, angels will move on your behalf. The enemy tried to block you, but your name is untouchable. Their curses have failed, and now your wealth is breaking free. But if you delay, this moment can pause. Michael says, you are one of the few who still shine after being buried in lies, betrayal, and hardship. That is why I fought to reach you, but you must choose. This is your moment of destiny. One yes can unlock a lifetime of favor. One belief can crush 1,000 demons. One moment can change everything. At 11:11 p.m., the spiritual transaction will manifest. You will feel it. You may cry. You may tremble. But you will know this is the moment your life turned. This is not exaggeration. This is divine fact. The angels have waited. The heavens have aligned. God says, when others mocked you, I was planning this. When you had nothing but hope, I was designing this. When you almost gave up, I was writing this. But the heavens do not stop at proclamation. They demand action. Michael's gaze pierces through the veil, his voice softer now, but no less urgent. You have carried the weight of the world, yet your faith did not break. You have walked through fire, yet your spirit did not burn. You have faced betrayal, yet your heart did not harden. This is why the Creator chose you. This is why the $500 million bears your name. But faith without action is a seed unplanted. You must act now, in the quiet of your room, as the clock ticks closer to 11:11 p.m. You feel the weight of this moment. It is not just about money, it is about purpose. It is about the schools you will build, the families you will feed, the dreams you will bring to life. It is about the legacy that will outlive you, the light that will shine through generations. Because you said yes tonight, the enemy knows this. They know that once you step into this blessing, you will become unstoppable. That is why they fight so hard to keep you distracted, to keep you doubting, to keep you bound. But you are not bound. You are chosen. You are seen. You are loved. The Creator has not forgotten the nights you cried out to Him, the days you pressed forward when every door slammed shut, the moments you chose to believe when the world called you foolish. And now he's answering. Michael says, this is not a message to be read and forgotten. This is a summons to be answered. This is a moment to be seized. The heavens are waiting, and the clock is ticking. As 11:11 p.m. approaches, you may feel a shift in the atmosphere. The air may feel heavier, your heart may race, your spirit may tremble. That is the presence of the divine, pressing against the veil, waiting for your response. The $500 million is not just a number, it is a symbol of God's faithfulness, a testament to his promise that he will restore what was stolen. It is the key to unlocking your purpose, the fuel for your calling, the foundation for a legacy that will echo through eternity. Michael's voice rises once more, urgent and unyielding. You were not here by accident. You were not reading this by chance. Your soul cried out, and heaven answered. But the blessing requires your yes. Say it now. Believe it now. Act it now. The heavens are watching. The angels are waiting. The Creator is listening. This is your moment. This is your summons. This is your destiny. If you believe in God, type Amen now. Let heaven know you are ready to receive.